Hello and welcome along to episode 16 of this Snooker 19 career, the other O'Sullivan with me, Daniel. We're back today for the second round of the Welsh Open as we face world number 8 Ding Junhui, who will obviously be the heavy favourite, but with a win today and possibly another round or two, we could guarantee ourselves a top 50 ranking by the end of the first season. We're already part way through this match, so it is going to be a crucial ending. But first, if you haven't seen the last couple of episodes, do go back and check them out. We played in our first ever ranking final, and it was in another one of this Home Nation series, that time in the Scottish Open. We're really moving towards the end of the year now, so we are going to have a look at how we've been getting on. We've only played a few events since the last one, mainly because we haven't qualified for most. In the German Masters, we did lose in the qualifying in a second round to Neil Robertson, and we haven't made it to anything else since, so we're now 2 months further down the line as we play in this Welsh Open. We've had a little bit of a slump in form since. We were unconvincing in the first round of the German Masters, lost in the second to Neil Robertson, and only just scraped through in the first round of this one as well, so it is going to be tricky for us, but hopefully we can get a shock today and get ourselves back in form. In terms of ranking, we're in 54th place at the moment, not far off that top 50, just £5 in prize money. We get 3.5 if we win this round, so we'll just probably need one more win after that. Obviously it depends on a few of the others not getting results, but for us we're really on a steady climb now, and we're looking forward to hopefully adding to the trophy cabinet. We've got one ranked event, it is the Scottish Open. Those of you who didn't click back have got the spoiler now. We did win the tournament against Mark Williams, so let's get into this one and see if we can go for the same feat in the Welsh Open. We're playing Ding Junhui, so it's going to be a tough test, and as you can see below there, we're into a deciding frame. It's 2-all, having been 2-0 down. We've made a comeback so far, and can we complete the job on camera now? We'll be back in a minute for the break off. It'll be Ding Junhui to break in the last. Ding to break then, he's going down the right side of the table. Let's see what he can produce. He split the reds a bit actually, it's quite an attacking break shot, not what we often see from the top players in the world, and he's left a few reds on here. It's not the best break off shot at all, and it looks like we could win this in one visit if we want, if we're able to get that first pot. We've got to make sure the red goes, and then we've got to try and find a route to a colour. That's going to be the hardest bit at the moment, so we might just have to screw back and go for a bit of luck. So 63% power, let's see if the red goes in. We've overhit it massively, but it's actually worked out perfect. We've got a couple of reds split to the other side of the table, and we've got a good angle on the yellow now to get back down for the reds. So we're going to go up for yellow. That's obviously the most productive shot here. We've got to try and get round this green somehow, so we're going to go for 74% power and just hope it brings us back down the table. We've overhit it hugely, so the ball's actually not gone through as much as it should have, and now we're going to have a tricky red if we want to continue our break. This one's probably the best, the one it's automatically put us on. It's a tricky red to the corner, not the best angle for a left-hander, but we can come through the reds if we do that, and hopefully that means we'll be able to open them up and make a frame winning opportunity. So 72% power, we've overhit it slightly again, but we've come through perfectly. We've ended up potting 2 reds, but that doesn't matter too much. We can still win the frame in a visit, and we've got a good angle on pink to middle or blue to the corner as well. So let's just try and pot this pink. It goes to the middle pocket pretty easily, and we've got to try and hold our position if possible, something that's not going to be quite so simple. So 19% power, hopefully that one will go into the middle pocket. The pink's got enough on it, that's perfect, and I think we've got an angle on that red next to the blue. If not, there's one on the other side to the bottom. So there's plenty of options available, but we'd like to take the easiest shot if possible. That red goes pretty easy, and then let's just screw back again. If we can come back to about where we are, that'll put us pretty much perfectly onto the blue, and then we should be able to build our break. Hopefully it won't be too difficult. We have got the backup there of brown and yellow as well. If it does all go wrong, we've got a bolt colour to go for. So we've potted the red and we've cannoned into the blue. Not the best angle for that one, but we've left ourselves perfect on the brown, so the break will still continue. Let's get ourselves round for the brown then. It should be a relatively straightforward pot, and we've got enough of an angle to come down the table off the cushion as well, or we could just go straight down to be fair, whichever one seems more appropriate. I'm just trying to see where we can get to here. I want to really nestle on the edge of this pack, just so I can get to that one to the corner, which requires 84% power. So let's go for it. We've overhit it slightly again, but I think the white ball's going to finish perfectly. Lovely positioning with a cue ball, and now we've got the red to the corner pocket. We should be able able to hold for the black, and as long as we don't let Ding to the table, we should be able to win this frame. It doesn't matter how slow it is, it doesn't matter how many low value colours we go for, it's all about getting the job done at this point, not about doing anything fancy. 23% power, we should be perfect for the black. I don't think we've come too far there, but we've got a bit of a nasty angle on the cushion. The cue ball stuck to it, so we can't screw back. It's going to make it harder to get on a red now. We've tried to screw back, but it's not going to work, so we might have to go for power instead, although that may harm our chances with the cue ball, so I think we're just going to play it safe for now. If we can get right on the cushion, we should have a couple of options with reds, but I don't know if it's going to work out. Let's just get the colour in at first. The black's gone in, that's the most important thing. We haven't really got a good angle on a red, but that red above the black spot should go to the corner. Okay, we've set the shot up for the red to the corner. We've got a little bit of safety in mind as we're playing towards the opposite side cushion, which shouldn't leave too much on. I think the red is going to drop off the inside jaw. We're on for the blue to the middle or for the pink to the corner, but I think the blue's going to be the easier pot, so that's the one we're going to go for first. It's an easy pot to the middle, and we should be able to hold for the red on the side cushion here and either have one to the middle or one to the bottom, whichever turns out to be the easier pot. So just 17% power, we're not going to overhit it. We've just nestled that in perfectly. We've got a lovely red to the middle now, and we should be able to pull through for the blue as well. We might even have the pink to the corner yet. I'd like to get slightly high on the blue just so we can try and go into the reds eventually, as we've only got one loose one left now, and then it's going to start to get pretty tricky. So we're going to try and come up just above the blue spot, 70% power with a little bit of forward spin, and let's see if we can make it happen. We've got the perfect 70% connection, the red thunders into the middle pocket, and we've got a slightly high angle on the blue, which is exactly what we were hoping for. A perfect start to this frame, and we're now on 31, having potted every colour apart from the green. Let's get the blue onto the middle. We want to make sure we continue our break here. We've got a red that we should be able to get on quite easily, but after that we've got to find a route to get onto one of the colours and then get into the pack of reds, otherwise it's going to be the end of the break. 15% power, the blue goes in. We've got a nice angle on the red, and we may have to do it from this shot, although I'd prefer to do it off the colour. So let's just make sure we get the red in first. That should be a relatively straightforward pot to the middle, and then we want to leave ourselves quite low on the black so we can come back up and go crash into the reds. We've potted the red, that's a beautiful shot. We're just below the black spot, that's absolutely perfect. So we should be able to pot this now and then go absolutely cannoning into these reds and just hope for a little bit of luck that will see us the frame winning opportunity. We're not a million miles away now, we've just got to make sure we get these reds perfect. So we're going to crash into them, 67%. Hopefully we'll free up at least 2 or 3. The black goes in, that's the most important bit, and I think we might have got unlucky here. The reds have cannoned perfectly, but I'm not sure we've managed to get on one. Unless that one closest to us goes to the top corner, which it doesn't to be fair, or we have got a red to the middle. It's a thin cut, but we might well make it. So we'll try and line that one to the middle pocket, and hopefully we'll be able to reach our half century. Right, we've lined the red up to the middle as best as we think we can. We're just wary of hitting the near jaw, and if we do end up cutting it a bit too thin, then unfortunately we'll just have to live with that. So 25% power, we're trying to get the angle onto the black. It's an absolutely brilliant pot, the best of this break so far by a mile. We're onto the black and we should be able to find a red, even though we're pretty straight on this one. We've got 3 reds split nicely around the pink spot, so I don't think it will cause us too many troubles. We've just got to make sure we come off the cushion hard enough to try and get back round the other side of the table. 61% power, we've come off the cushion nicely, but I think we've got a horrific angle there. We've pretty much snookered ourselves on every red, but we should just about be able to get this one. We've got a good enough angle on the one we're very close to, so we're very pleased with that. 24% power should put us nicely on the black again as well. We've overhit it very slightly, so it will be slightly low on the black, but it just gives us a better angle to come up for the 2 loose reds. With those we should be able to complete the job in this frame and leave Ding Junhui no chance and complete another brilliant comeback. So again we're just going to come off the cushion, just over 20% power, and hopefully we'll be on those 2 loose reds and be able to complete the job in this frame. It looks an absolutely perfect angle, so we can take whichever one of the reds we choose. We're just going to get the higher one out of the way first and try and hold for the black. We're not going to want anywhere near 50% power on this. 16 should do the job. It'll push one of the other reds safe as well, which is exactly what we want at this stage. We've pushed the red against the cushion, we've left ourselves a good enough angle on the black, and we've potted the red to move on to a break of 61. This one makes it 68, and then it's just about potting one more red, and hopefully that will then be job done after a brilliant break so far in this frame. We've potted the black beautifully, we're onto the red towards the right corner cushion, and that should be a simple pot to the corner and leave us in no doubt of winning this frame. I think we're already there, to be honest. If my maths are right, there's only 59 remaining, so it should be job done in this frame, but we want to make sure and just get the job done and make sure it's a very convincing win as well. To do it in one visit is absolutely perfect, and it's the sort of thing in the first 7 or 8 episodes of this series that we didn't have a chance of doing. We only won if we had the scrappy frames, but now we can play nice positional shots like that, and we can get frames done in one visit. So a brilliant shot. Ding Junhui just had the break off, and after that we haven't given him a chance. That's the sign of a good top player. So we are going to screw forward off the cushion for this one. We want to make sure we can get back up for the red, and if we don't, we know we've done the job. But the black's in and we're on the red. What a break this has been. We're going to struggle with the last two, and it's probably not going to be a century break, but to make sure we get at least 80 and win it as convincingly as we have is an absolutely remarkable achievement, considering how bad we were at the start of our career. So we are just going to try and screw back off the side cushion here. 35% power on the red. We've underhit it grossly, and that's going to leave us a tricky angle on the black, but it doesn't really matter too much as the job was done a long time ago. I think we've established we can't get on the black now, so we're going to come up for the pink to the top pocket. It's going to be a thunderous pot. We know we're not going to get on the red, but it is going to be the last pot of the match, so we might as well give the fans something to go home and remember. So we are just going to try and thunder this in. I don't know if we are able to screw back. I'm not sure if it'll work out, but we're going to go for it anyway. 80% power, the pink's gone in, and we've not been able to screw back much, and if anything we've almost snookered ourselves. So it is probably going to be a safety shot, although we can go for one of those spectacular doubles, so let's just go for it at 50% power and see if we can add to our break. It's not far away, but it's not close enough, and unfortunately that will be the end of the break, and even then it turned into a brilliant safety. So we've won the frame in one visit. I think it's the first frame we've ever won where the opponents only had the break off, and from there we've just gone and done it in one take. Absolutely sensational stuff, and we're really starting to feel fluent at the table. Ronnie O'Sullivan's on the verge of the top 50. We got 260 points out of the match. We're deserved winners as a result. The highest break was that 83 at the end there, although we weren't far off in the frame before, where we did a similar thing after an early safety exchange. It did take a deciding frame after Ding took a 2-0 lead, but finally we found a bit of form again, and hopefully we can make a run to another final. So let's go and see who we get in the next round. We'll obviously be playing that one off camera, and hopefully we'll be able to come back in the latter stages as we fight for another trophy in this series. There's our confirmation then. We've got 21st ranked Jimmy Robertson. I think it's the second time we've played him in our career, and I'm pretty sure we won the first one as well. The winner gets £6,000 in prize money, and that will certainly take us into the top 50. Even accounting for 1 or 2 winning their first round, that should be plenty to take us into it. We're going to be climbing up the rankings quite quickly, and we need to get ourselves back in form for the World Championships, which is only a couple of months and 2 or 3 events away now, so we have got to get into form pretty soon if we want to make a run for it in the big one. Of course, as we won the Scottish Open, we'd love to keep doing well in the Home Nations series. The Welsh Open's a brilliant tournament as well. I quite often watch it on BBC Wales back home, so hopefully I'll be able to make a run in this one, and we'll see Ronnie O'Sullivan in the latter stages. A semi-final or final again would be great, and who knows, we might be able to add a second trophy to the cabinet. So I will play this match off camera, and depending on what happens, we'll hopefully be back for the latter stages of this one, but if not, let's have a look at what the next event is. The snooker shootout, something I'm really looking forward to, a really different type of event to normal. And then obviously later on in the year we've got the Gibraltar Open, and then the big highlight of course is the World Championship qualifiers. We won't be in the top 16 or 32 by then, so we are going to have to qualify, but it's not going to be a problem if we play at our best, as we've been beating the best players in the world. But if you did enjoy this episode and that fantastic win over Ding and the one visit frame victory, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know down in the comments how long you think we go into this tournament. tournament, do you think we can do the same as the Scottish Open, or is the slightly bigger reputation of the tournament going to make the big boys perform on the big stage? I hope you can notice that we're starting to feel more fluent at the table now. We're really putting together bigger breaks with more regularity, and we're winning frames in one visit, something we were never able to do before. I hope it's the same for you guys if you're still playing it. I'm really enjoying this Snooker 19 game, and I hope you're enjoying watching it as well. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from 2 long-term stories. We've got 3 episodes a week from Cricket 19, the official game of the Ashes 2, one of my favourite console games over the last 5 years, so do go and check it out if you're a fan of other sports games. There's also weekly content from this Snooker 19 career. We continue every Friday at 4:30, and I hope you'll join me next week again to find out if we're in the latter stages of the tournament and hopefully push us towards another ranking final.